Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything under things, politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. In April 2024, Mallam Nasiru El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, said that over 8 trillion naira has been spent on fuel subsidy by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who famously said on May 29, 2023, at his inauguration, that fuel subsidy is gone. El-Rufai had argued that if fuel subsidy was not being paid, that the price of fuel and diesel would have been higher than what it was at that time in April when he was speaking. El-Rufai spoke in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, at a workshop organized by the Borno State government for select government officials. The government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu ignored El-Rufai, apparently because El-Rufai has lost out in the sharing of office after the APC was announced by INEC as the winners of the presidential election, and he missed it, and his nomination for ministerial position was not confirmed by the Senate for alleged undisclosed reasons by the government. But it was believed that it was based on a petition written against him by some agencies of government, allegedly. Now, they ignored him, giving the impression that, as the president said on May 29, 2023, that no subsidy was being paid. And Nigerians were regaled about how governors are now awash with Naira. Perhaps they are, because of the removal of the fuel subsidy. But the removal of the fuel subsidy was a ruse, because earlier in February 2024, the International Monetary Fund had asked the federal government, headed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to completely phase out petrol and electricity subsidy. That was also another clear indication that the Tinubu administration was still paying for a subsidy, but they were still grandstanding that they are not paying any subsidy. But the IMF, who should know better, insist they were still paying fuel subsidy. And back in March 2024, the IMF again warned that electricity and fuel subsidy may reach 7 trillion in 2024. The government that said famously that fuel subsidy is gone kept mute. The one they were able to address was the issue of electricity subsidy, which many Nigerians rejected its removal. The removal of subsidy on electricity, Nigerians rejected it, but still the tariff on electricity has still gone up, despite the rejection of that subsidy removal on electricity. But that of the fuel, the government had already given the impression that no subsidy is being paid. Now it appears that the chieftain has come home to roost. And you know that subsidy denial has been the penchant the APC had this penchant of denial of payment of fuel subsidy. During the time of President Muhammad Buhari, when he first entered in 2015, they say that that fuel subsidy is a scam. That so Jonathan administration of the PDP were just scamming Nigerians. That there is nothing like fuel subsidy. In fact, there were several videos where President Bola Muhammad Buhari said, "What is fuel subsidy?" I don't know what is fuel subsidy. What is fuel subsidy? At that time, former Vice President Yemi Osibanjo was echoing that there was no fuel subsidy, that they don't pay fuel subsidy. What they pay is under recovery by the NNPC. It was after some years in power, they now changed it. They now started telling Nigerians the truth that they have been paying fuel subsidy. But they said they were not paying fuel subsidy. And what they were paying was under recovery. The same deceit has continued in the Tinubu administration. But on a larger scale. This is because now the chicken has come home to roost. The latest report by the Sahara reporters, the Cable and others, has indicated that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led government has spent 6.8 trillion naira in fuel subsidies between August 2023 and December 2024, representing a 17-month period, according to documents cited by Sahara reporters. And the Sahara reporters stated that the 6.8 trillion naira is the highest figure ever to be spent by any administration in fuel subsidy between 2005 and 2022, when subsidy payment was made by the Nigerian government on a full year basis. Now, this is as the president, according to this report, as the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, the president has approved that he uses its dividends to offset subsidy bills. The NNPC had informed the president that due to the subsidy payments, that is where it now comes clear that they are paying subsidy from this report. NNPC is telling the president that due to the subsidy payment, it was currently unable to pay taxes and royalties into the federation account, referring to this as subsidy shortfall FX differential. You see the word they use for that? Subsidy shortfall FX differential. Does that sound similar to under recovery under Buhari? Now, why this is interesting is because the chicken has come home to roost. The NNPCL is under pressure because it has been accused of not remitting royalties to the federal government. There are those investigating it and saying that it has not been able to fulfill its obligation to the federal government of Nigeria. It's not paying royalties to the federation account. It's not paying. So those who are the NNPCL was pushed to the wall. It now has to reveal that it needs money to pay subsidy. And it couldn't pay tax and royalties to the federation account. because according to it, he needs the money to pay for a subsidy. This is probably what forced them to acknowledge it. But this is still not official. This is as a result of investigative report cited by Sahara reporters and Cable. They have not come clean to tell Nigerians who they are paying it to. Of course, we know that NNPCL is said to be the sole importer. In other words, if NNPCL is the sole importer of fuel in Nigeria, then it means that NNPC has just gotten the approval of the president to pay itself the subsidy. Because if it is the sole importer, it is supposed to be the sole recipient of the fuel subsidy. But because most of these things are not done transparently, Nigerians can only begin to guess about the transparency and accountability in the whole process. Now, this development is coming over 1 year after Bola Ahmed Tinubu famously said that fuel subsidy is gone. Fuel subsidy is gone. Now, of course, this development on the approval of the use of NNPC dividend to pay fuel subsidy is coming at a time when the value of the Naira has really depreciated. So perhaps that's why this subsidy payment now has gone beyond imagination, beyond what was obtainable in the past. But that being said, it's a reflection of lack of transparency in the whole process. Now, can you imagine if this government is being transparent when the young men and women who were protesting between August 1st and August 10th, one of the demands they made on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was that he must restore fuel subsidy. So what stopped the federal government of Nigeria or President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in that his address to say, young men and women, I know you people are upset about the high cost of fuel and things like that. It could have been higher. We are still paying this fuel subsidy. We are still paying it. You can go and verify from NNPCL. They are paying subsidy. The only thing what we did was a partial removal. You are still having this fuel, the price you are getting it because we have partial fuel subsidy. Why did the government have to grandstand that they have removed all the fuel subsidy when they know they did not? When they know that they are still paying? Perhaps that would have assuaged the young men, because nothing is as good as being honest in dealing with society, in dealing with a country, in dealing with people of a society. It would have made a whole lot of difference if Bola Ahmed Tinubu's address on that protest, at least that would have been that the young men and women who protested achieved something. They were able to make the president to acknowledge that fuel subsidy would have been, fuel price would have been higher, diesel price would have been higher than what they are if they are not paying subsidy. Why was the government grandstanding so that they will be seen to be the government that removed subsidy that nobody has ever removed before? Because that was the impression. Because that's the only thing. Because if you see all the commentaries that were coming out after this first subsidy was removed, as announced by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he was being described as a courageous leader. He has done what no president has the courage to do. But when you know that these things are built not on truth, not on reality, the president ought to have come out following this protest to say, look, we are still paying for a subsidy. You had the IMF when they came to Nigeria the other time, they say that we are still paying for a subsidy. Indeed, we are paying for a subsidy. If not, the price of fuel that you are complaining that is this high could have even been higher. Then the question would have been, how transparent is the fuel subsidy process now than before? The reason why fuel subsidy was every presidential candidate said they will remove it was because of the alleged corruption in the payment of fuel subsidy. Has that corruption disappeared now that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is paying it, is allegedly paying it after announcing on May 29, 2023 that the fuel subsidy is gone? That ought to have been the major question. Now, but all in all, because of lack of transparency, lack of rule of law in governance in Nigeria, that is why this government has now been put under embarrassment by this latest development, that they are indeed paying more than ever before. In fact, Sahara Reporter is saying that what they are paying now is highest in the last 25 years of subsidy payment in Nigeria. We are still waiting whether the government will deny this report. Because since it had been published, Mallam had been the word from the federal government. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.